Got a bit of sleep, feeling good, back again on the grind. Had an interesting hand before on 888. I'll bring that up in a minute. We see against our old friend Big Hooney here. I defend with the 5-8 off and check raise that flop. It's an interesting spot. He opens pretty wide from early, so he's going to have a lot of high cards. Yeah, he's got a lot of ace jack and king jack and stuff. He's going to fold. We do have the gut shot, backdoor clubs. We can represent a lot on later streets if it comes a club or a straight completing card. So even if he has like 9s or 7s or like jacks, like we're probably going to be able to put him under a lot of pressure on the later streets. So he just folded flop. We won a good pot earlier in this one actually, as well here. 4, 5, 6. I think I might just get the 8s in. He's pretty short. I think it's like a break-even spot to be honest, but it is a rebuy. Well, not break-even, slightly profitable, but not a great spot. If it was break-even, I mean, I wouldn't take it. I mean, it's like slightly profitable, I think. He makes a pretty loose call, and it's not that surprising because he was pretty short. I'm a little bit, well, jack queen off, I'm a little bit surprised. We flop a set in this mini. But it is a rebuy, so I guess he's going to call pretty loose. A lot of these guys in rebuys like to gamble it up. I think what happened in this hand? Just thinking we should check or bet. I think I will bet. Try not to make it too big. It's not too bad a card. Well, I mean, it's not a great card because if someone's got like King 10 or Ace 10, it kills our action, but it's actually a pretty bad card, I guess. Unless someone's got Queen 10. I guess I'm just going to bet again and then get it all in by the river. Yeah, it was a bit of an action killer, that card, I think. It's bottom right, excuse me guys, bottom right, I 3-bet this reg with the Queen 8. And I barreled on the flop. It's a pretty good hand candidate, I think, for barreling. We do block some King Queens with the Queen. We have backdoor straights on the go. But not a lot of showdown, so I'd like to put this in our bluffing range. We pick up one of our good semi-bluffing cards to continue, the diamond here. So I go ahead and fire big on the turn. Probably going to jam river, to be honest. I think at this point he's very 9, 10, 10 jack, ace 10, as well as king jack, king queen heavy. Once in a while he's trapped us with like 7s or king 10, but that's bad luck. So I want to just put that weaker part of his range under pressure. He does call, and then I hit the queen, so it's an interesting one. Obviously would have preferred a diamond. I think the queen, however, I think is a little bit too thin here to go for value because, you know, if he's got ace 10, I don't think he's calling a river bet. So I decided to check back, and he had 10 jack, so he picked up the diamond as well, so it would have been nice to hit that on the river, but won a good pot nonetheless. Had a interesting hand. This is his hand I was talking about in 888. I wish this hand had a better ending, like the others. We've had actually a lot of barreling spots. A lot of check raising and barreling already, actually, early in the session, which is good signs. Feeling pretty sharp. This hand, however, maybe not so sharp. You tell me. I think we can call top right there. I'll just play this hand. I think it was just a mini check raise, wasn't it? Is that what it was? Like a very small check raise, I think. Now he checks. I think in this spot, I think he's really trying to get to showdown. I think he's really eager to get to showdown, and I don't know, we could have to blast. I think we'd have to blast pretty hard. This is what it feels like to get him off. So I think I'm just going to take a free one. Where is the 8? Where is the 3? He fires, so I think I'm just going to fold this one. Three bet here with the 10s. Actually, we got some chips a moment ago in this, actually. With kings. Bottom right here, you can see the kings. I just flattered from the small. Keep the short stack into trap. Just check call flop and shove river. And he called playing the board. How's that? Didn't expect it. I think this guy up top right, he's a bit of a fish. When I say fish, like actually he's epic whale. And he's 3-bet. Just thinking, I think I might actually just go against small here. Yeah, I think I might just raise against small. Try and isolate to the fish. Yeah, ace queen. That's pretty loose. And not too surprising to see him play that way. I just raised small because I wanted to keep in his range that we dominate. Wow, this guy's made a really large 3-bet and we've got the ace king, so I think we might as well just, now there's already 1100 in there, so I think we might as well just pop it up, yeah. I raised an amount where we give ourselves a pretty easy, oh, I probably could have jammed that actually. Pretty easy situation on the flop where we have this SBR of 1, so we can just shove. The question is it better to bet smaller or check? Because a lot of the time, I might actually bet smaller. Because I think a lot of the time he's actually got like ace jack or king queen or something like that. So he might actually shove over the top of a small bet. It might actually be optimal over just shoving. Because if we just shove, he might fold ace jack. But if we do this bet, he might think he's got fold equity and spaz out. Or he might float one. I think I will bet top right. I think it's pretty close. And then just check turn. He's probably going to have ace king, ace 10, 10 jack. He might have ace jack or ace 8. Unless he's got 7, 8. That shouldn't be that bad a card. I think we probably have to call now. I do have him marked in the fish color. Hope he's not thin valuing ace jack. Or flopped like big. I like the way he played that, actually, not too bad. I think he played that pretty well. I wouldn't expect that sort of play from a guy marked in that color. Looks like I just marked him that color because he does limping, but I think he played that quite nice. I like his river sizing too. Yeah, going back to the 888. Look at this hand with the 6s. This was a pretty crazy hand, actually. We flop bottom set. And I go ahead and check raise because the board's pretty dangerous. Some players might overplay it in this spot with big pairs. He could have some combo draw. He could have a flush draw, and there's a lot of cards that might kill our action. You know, like if he just happens to have a big hand and the turn's like the, you know, well, the turn's like a 3 of hearts or something, or a king of hearts, we could lose some action. But it's just pretty, I mean, it's just a board where as well we need some protection, bottom set, so I go ahead and raise. And look at this, it gets jammed. And the blinds at this stage, mind you, the blinds at this stage was, I think it was 1530? 1530, it was like a tiny level anyway. So what do you do here? This is just a disgusting spot now, isn't it? And it all happened pretty quickly too. I'm like, what? Just jam. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, this guy, I just don't think this guy can have a call with an overpair, right? So I kind of admitted an overpair from his range. Yeah. And then I thought, okay, best case scenario, it's probably like, you know, ace jack of hearts here and like, I don't even know if you can call with 2 pair, but I guess with 7-8 and stuff like that, he would call. And so I decided that it's quite possible that one of these guys has got the 7s or 8s, the bigger set. I just also decided it's quite possible that someone's already got the straight. So I folded. What would you guys have done? You probably know now, based on what I was saying, that it was a regrettable decision. But wow, what a flop. But yeah, they had some crazies. It was a bit of cray-cray. The guy somehow still gets kings in, so despite a check raise and a jam, he still calls with kings, which is mind-boggling for me. At the 1530 level for 5,000. Okay, effectively like 4, just over, well, yeah, we've got almost 5,000. Absolutely mind-boggling. Had I known that he had been this much of a massive fish, obviously I would never be folding. But unbeknownst to me at the time, I just presumed he was a regular guy and folded. And then to my dismay, we were in fantastic shape and would have filled up on the turn. Yeah. So that was a sad one. But anyway, this is the happy stream today. This is the happy stream. So let's get back into happy mode. But yeah, a few interesting hands there. There was actually another interesting hand against David, was what's his name? Davidenko, but I think I busted that tournament. I had jacks, I think it was against 8s, and the guy spiked on us. So not the best start, losing the with the overpair in a big pot in the, what was that tournament? It wasn't anything epic. I think it was a $55. $55 10k guaranteed or something. I think we can probably value up here. You might think we have Miss Diamonds or just a ace high float on the flop. Maybe it could have gone bigger. It's possibly had a worse 8, I guess, or a small pair. He did have a worse 8. Yeah, probably could have gone a bit bigger on the river. I mean, it's still possible he's got, you know, 10s, jacks, queens, whatever, but he is only on the button, so. That Triple Eight poker tournament, in case you're wondering, is the Lightning 109 20k guaranteed on Sunday. So it's a spicy meatball. The dry 35. think I might call. You got to be a little bit careful in this spot, don't you? Because you can very easily be dominated against UTG, so I don't even mind folding here. It feels a little bit... Feels a bit yuck folding Jack Queen suited, but you would recall yesterday that we actually lost a big pot with this hand on a Queen high board. Against UTG, it was actually an identical situation. Except obviously, different flop. We flopped top pair, pretty dry board. Four, five, six, seven, eight. I think I'm just going to, well, you know what? I might just flat. The reason why I'm doing that is because there's just so many short stacks behind. Someone might just decide, hey, I'm just going to slam in the fives, or I'm just going to slam in some hand that we have good equity against. Whereas if we 3-bet, they're just going to fold it. This is a little bit tricky when it just gets called. But I didn't think these guys would call too wide. I didn't think they'd call too wide because the stacks are quite short. But I did forget that we were dealing with, well, an $11 crowd. Although, having said that, we do have So Bizzle on the table, who's pretty solid. This is a pretty disgusting spot now it's turned into, hasn't it? It's pretty grotesque. I think I'm actually just going to fold, to be honest. I mean, we've got two other players behind, and even if we do have the best hand now, there's a decent chance that we don't buy the river, and we're not really going to be able to call a turn bet from the UTG player here. See if we can get a knockout. By golly, we did. $6. We just locked up $6. I see this guy around all the time. He's been on our table every day. Dario, no dollars had. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like the Yoda voice. Dario, no dollars had. I don't know, it's like... It's not the best English. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's too much to do here with... That's an interesting hand here, actually. I'll just bring this in the lightning. Wow, he bets on the river now pretty big. I don't think he has diamonds. Do you have diamonds, sir? I don't think you do. No, you don't. You silly little man. He bet tiny on the turn and I just check called and then got some good value on the river with the check raise. I guess he did hit the queen. So at least we're back over start stack in that, because that's that pocket sixes fold was... Woo, when I saw the hands we were up against, kings and 6-8, I was like, what? Like, that's just the best hands. Like, we're just dodging two kings and 2 8s. That is the ultimate scenario. Like, compared to what it could have been, where we could have been up against, like, middle set and just had one out. Like, it was the dream scenario. And, I mean, not only that, I mean, I at least expected straights and flush draws, but no. It was like as good as it was going to get. Literally as good as I think we could have hoped. It was the two perfect hands that we would have seen. The overpair and the 2 pair where they had the 6 in the hand. The K6. I don't really regret the fold. I think the fold normally is okay. What I do regret, though, is not having notes on our opponent. That's what I regret. And probably through no fault of our own. I mean, I just probably maybe I haven't played with the guy before, but I mean, I'm a little bit lazy with notes, especially when I'm streaming. But if we had any sort of indication that he's loose, then it would have just changed the whole dynamic. It would have just changed his whole range, and we would have been able to call. And I'm not running the HUD. as you guys know. Are we losing EV by not running the HUD? Oh, more knockouts, please. Maybe a tiny bit, but heart? Any hearts? There's one. But yeah, I think when you're playing a lot of tables, and then sometimes it's a little bit hard to get as much out of the HUD as you would like. I mean, the HUD that I usually use has a fair bit of detail, and in reality, you know, I probably only use like 3-bet percentage, maybe 3-betting percentage, call 3-bet, and steal, well, raise from position, 3-bet, call 3-bet, and maybe c-betting. It's like probably what I'm using like 90% of the time, even 95. And then a small percentage of the time I'm using maybe, you know, some other stats like barreling and get to showdown and yeah, that sort of thing. So I mean, I guess it is useful, but I do feel like sometimes it almost makes you just, I don't know, like make mistakes, I think. There's a lot of spots where I would 3-bet and isolate someone, and they've been kind of solid, and I don't. I think I'm going to get a better spot or something, but the reality is that a lot of the time you should just go for it. And especially because we've busted the first tournament with the overpair. So you can't leave things up. You know, we've discussed this before, haven't we, team? You can't leave things up to the poker gods. You've got to take it upon yourself to make things happen. Just making sure that this was blind versus blind, because I was just freaking out for a minute, but it was blind versus blind. Just looking, last time we were UTG, so we're big blind now, yeah. It's just a bit confusing because a new player just stepped in. I think we kind of have to call one more here. I don't know how sick Big Hoonies are going to go against us, though, and try and barrel on the turn. I don't know how sick he's going to go on the turn on that dry card, so maybe saying that we have to call turn is a mistake. I'm thinking from a GTO point of view, we're supposed to call down here. But from an exploitative point of view, like, I just don't think he's... I feel like he's not bluffing here very often. Yeah, he's queen. I think if you put that hand in like a PIO solver, you're supposed to call down, but that's one of those times when I think you can just exploitively adjust. Having said that, it is Big Hoonie, and there was a flush draw out there, and he is a bit of a maniac, so yeah, I think it's not terrible, but it's definitely probably one that I should have escaped. I think that's my first kind of mistake from the day, to be honest. But I am pretty sure, like, if you put that in like PIO solver, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to call down there. Flush missed, and we got the 10 and the jack. He could be isolating our limp pretty wide. Could almost turn 9-10 into a bluff here. Try and fold out if he's got like queens or something. Top left here is going to be a little bit risky, but I think I'm going to go for a check raise here. The only problem with this play is that sometimes players spaz out and just decide they're going to call with like anything, or because they take it emotionally. Oh, how dare you check raise me? How dare you? It's a little bit hard out of position there with a 9-10. I mean, he's going to be pretty scared of the flush. think I will go for it here, actually. I think I will go for it, depending on the river. I was going to shut down, and then I thought, meh. Funny thing is, we've actually hit a deuce now, which I find pretty amusing, to be honest. I was going to try... I mean, I don't know if we fold him off. I was hoping to get like a, you know, queen of hearts or something. The funny thing is now is that if he bets, I think he's very 6-8, 10 jack, 8-10 and flush draw heavy. If he bets, I don't think I'm going to fold. Yeah, we got the best hand. I thought we might. If he had a bet, I don't think I'm going to fold. Because, although having said that, he didn't bet. So he probably bets more for value and doesn't bluff that much. So probably in practice in that spot is actually a mistake. But in theory, I think he shouldn't really be betting that many rivers. Because he's got to be pretty scared of our check raising range. Looks pretty strong. He's got to be scared that we might check with even some big hands and let him bluff, hoping that he missed the flush. Or a straight draw. And so I think that if he does bet, a lot of the time it's just like a kind of guy that's somehow got to showdown with a draw that got stubborn on the flop. Well, not even stubborn, but it was a very draw heavy board, blind versus blind in a limp pot. Well, we raised, but against wide ranges. So I think he can still have a lot of 6-8 and that sort of thing. I think most players these days, to be honest, I think they actually... I mean, they virtually call with, I would say 70%, or maybe somewhere in the vicinity of 60 to 70%. Could even be higher. I think players will call in the big blind. Maybe even go as high as 80% of the time. They're just calling blind versus blind. And defending. The same goes for defending. Players are just defending at really epic frequencies these days, aren't they? I think I will fire some barrels here. That's a pretty close one from Puff Gen there. I think we're going to have to fold it. We're getting a pretty good price, but threes in this spot. Small pairs and king queen in this spot. It's very easy in this spot to overrate small pairs and king queen and go, well, we're getting a good price. You could have, you know, in this spot, you could have ace 10. Like, yeah, he could, but a lot of the times you're crushed. And I think if we put that hand in equal up, that we're in pretty bad shape. I think I will bet here actually with a 7-8. Just because if he does have high cards, I mean, I think he's just going to fold, and we give ourselves a chance to win the pot. Whereas if we check, it's kind of hard to win, you know. If we check, it's a little bit hard. I will call still, and just hope that we're not drawing dead. And I will just get this one in. That is a pretty big draw, isn't it? Pretty large. Wow. Until he shows us the set. Not the ideal hand to see. Just an interesting hand here. How does he call with Jack 9? This is what I'm talking about. We opened with the Jack 9 here. Big blind defends. This is what I'm talking about when players get emotional and take it personally. Like the flop's gone check jack. So I then decide when he leads turn to jack it up a bit. As you do. So I raise turn now. And I think a lot of the time he's just donking because we checked. He could have a 3 or a 4, which we put under a lot of pressure. We do have a lot of outs. He could have 10 jack. he could just have a big diamond. He could have like, 10-8 with a diamond. I don't really want to just call. It puts us in a pretty tricky spot on the river where, excuse me guys, on the river, if just chasing to hit. So I think in this spot, I don't mind turning our hand into a semi-bluff on the turn, and sometimes I would get a bit tricky like this, so I don't mind taking this line. You've seen me do this sort of stuff a bit. And how does he call the turn? He's got Jack 9 of hearts. He just calls a raise on the turn. Like, what is going on there? How does he do that? Just got this hand here, guys, where we have filled up. Yeah, how does he call Jack 9 of hearts when we raise that turn? Did I say check raise before? I didn't mean check raise, but he just donk led, obviously, and we raise. How does he call Jack 9? It's mind-boggling, not? I think he's just like, oh, how do you check flop and then raise turn? No, I'm calling. Yeah, you got nothing. Like, you've got a Jack 9, buddy. Like, we might have nothing, but you just have Jack high. You have bigger nothing, the kind of thing. You love that scenario, don't you? You just love it. It's always fun. It's a fun game, poker. But it's even more fun when you hit. And, of course, we go for value here. And he hits his straight. It's amusing. On that amusing note, guys, we will end part 1 of the happy stream. And it is the Big Tamales Sunday million. Not starting for a couple of hours, but we've got some of these other tourneys here. We're doing okay and building some stacks. So hopefully that trend continues next part. Join me again. This has been Acesup for PokerNerve.com.